Folks, how y'all doing today? It's me, Stately, and welcome back to the Fairtown of Good Intentions, where we have a bit of a garbage problem. So today we're going to work on that, but that shouldn't take too long. We'll finish off our Monument Square here, and we'll work on some public transport options. But let's get started. This is clearly an issue. We need some kind of garbage processing facility nearby here. And what we're going to do is we're going to run a road along the freeway, and we'll put something down kind of here-ish. That should be out of the way enough to not cause any trouble. Let's go ahead and kind of run it parallel to the freeway here, like so. Something like that, I think. That should do the trick, and that should be far enough out of the way that it's not a problem for anything. We'll go ahead and put down an incineration plant and a recycling plant. We'll just put them right next to each other, just like that. And that should solve the problem pretty quickly. We're going to be expanding around here anyway, so this will be a good thing to have one way or the other. Now, quick look around, make sure everything's running, no disasters. Well, okay, we have one disaster here. Apparently, while we weren't paying attention, one of our buildings burned down. So it is what it is. I was looking, by the way, at the land values, and I was kind of disappointed. This whole area is, I mean, it's not quite green. This is better, but it's not quite as valuable as I thought it would be. Not that that's a huge deal. All right, let's see what goes up here. I don't want any super tall towers here. I'm hoping for something like the souvenir shop. And it looks like we got a souvenir shop, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and make that historical so that it doesn't turn into a giant hotel, and that's fine. Now, everything else seems to be ticking along just fine. We've got, you know, an abandoned building here and there. That's kind of unavoidable. Even if you have everything perfectly balanced, you're going to have some abandoned buildings here and there. All right, this thing generates electricity, so I'm a little unclear on why that one doesn't have electricity, but I get that they need water, so that's an easy problem to solve. And we should also run a power line into this because, well, because the incinerator generates power, and we can use that power. There, power lines right along the freeway. I don't like that they're raised. I don't know if we can do anything about it. Let's find out. Yeah, we can. I'm not sure that looks a whole lot better, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so this whole area here is basically entirely free of public transit. We have... What are you worried about over here? We're having a bit of a crime wave. And we have a police station here, so I don't really see the problem. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. I think it's not an issue. So, what I'm thinking is we can put down a couple of tram lines here. And for that, we're going to convert some things to four-way roads with tram tracks. Fortunately, everything here is already a four-way road. So what I'm thinking is we'll do a grand loop, kind of from here down to here and back, and then we'll have another loop on this side, and we'll have two separate tram lines. So let's start upgrading. This loses our parking. Ah, jeez. geez, it doesn't fit here. It's going to end up being much, much wider if I do that. We could do a 2-lane road. Traffic here is not very heavy. Just looking at these roads, I'm reasonably sure they get along just fine as 2 lanes. So that's what we're going to do. Go all the way down here. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, let's go ahead and delete that and try to put it in again. I don't know what the deal was with that, but it doesn't seem to be a problem. Do I have a tiny little section that's not connected here now? I mean, really? Just an itty-bitty little section here? Whatever. It's fixed. Alright. Let's move you up a little bit. That shouldn't cause any further issues. And let's get back to our tramline update. Tram. Now, here's an interesting issue. I'm not sure that I want the trams to be running over this, because this is not the type of road that can be properly upgraded. So I think what we'll do is we'll run a separate tram line around the top here and have it come back down here. Let's see if I can work out how to do that properly. So we're going to have to go... What kind of angles can we have? Let's see, with like a straight line, what we can do. Something like that at a 45 degree. And we'll do the same thing over here. I'm going to try to get this nice and symmetrical, obviously. Means that, hold on, let's turn off everything except angle snapping. And we'll run it from here to... I said everything except angle snapping. Why am I not seeing the angle? 45, 52, 45. This is about as far back as I can go without it snapping to the intersection, so that's where it's going to have to be. 45, like so. And then kind of just want this, right? But we need to raise these two sides up enough that we can put a bridge down. So that'll go that way. That'll go that way. This one needs to go up a little bit more, I think. And then we'll put, hopefully, one long arching curve down from here to here and down to here. Not quite. Not quite. All right, let's see if we can do it in 2 parts. Straight line, please. Raise it. Let's try it in several sections here. That feels like it should be high enough. Try the same thing over here. Up to about here, I think. Come on, play nice. Ah, shoot. Still don't quite have it the way it needs to be. Up. We shall raise you farther. We shall raise you farther. And now, hopefully we can get that. No? Alright, we're not quite there yet. Move this out a little bit, move this out a little bit. Oh, hey, we got a tree back. I didn't even realize it was missing. Okay. I'm feeling good about this. Space already occupied. Why is the space already occupied? Is it too high? Is that the problem? I mean, not high enough. We'll just keep going up. We've given ourselves a little more space, so... hopefully it'll be okay. Come on, guys. How hard can this be? I'm not sure what the problem is here. I feel like there's enough space. But, not really getting that vibe. So let's see. Let's turn on the anarchy and see what we end up with here. Yeah, I think I see the problem here. This is too low. This side's fine. But that's what we have this tool for. Looks pretty okay. Get everything a little more gradual. Especially this side seems pretty steep now. Fortunately, trams can navigate steep things pretty well. That's high enough, right? That doesn't look unrealistic or anything. Problem is I can't really lower this section because then this will be too low and it's already kind of iffy. If anything, it should probably be higher. And I'm not sure why we have crossing paths here, but these tram lines seem to come with built-in pedestrian paths. Okay, back to it. Our 2-lane road with dual tram line. And how far out are we going? We don't know yet because we haven't done the tram line on the other side yet. So I think we'll go to here, not all the way down to there. And that's it. Okay, we got 2 separate segments here. You know what we don't have, though? We don't have a connection up here. This goes around, but there's no, like, loop back. There's no way to get from there to here. So, yeah, what do we do about that? Do we just do one massive looping line that goes all the way around town? Or do we try to connect this stuff together? And if we do, how? Raised tram lines aren't really a thing. So we'd have to branch off to the sides here or something. I mean raised over roads, because raised tram lines obviously are a thing. We have one right here. Huh. Yeah, I seem to have not properly anticipated this. Then again, not properly anticipating stuff is kind of the story of my life. Well, we have some side roads we can use. We'll just do this. Why are they sad? They're getting a tram line. Okay, now we have a successful loop. You're like inches away from the police station. Do we like legitimately need more police here? Is the police station in a terrible location or something? What's going on here? All of the cars are in use, and What the ever-living bejesus are these guys doing? Bit of a mystery here. But I'm gonna, I guess, put down another police station somewhere, because this is getting kind of bad. I think these cops are probably responding to calls on the other side of town. So frankly, the issue probably isn't there. The issue is probably somewhere else. We've got a couple cop stations here. We got one there. We got one there. And I don't really see any massive gaps in coverage. So, yeah. Best I can think of is... we'll spread these out a little bit. We'll put a police station here by the school, and we'll move the other one. And again with the weather, I'm telling you, every single time. I don't know what the deal is with that. I'll have to look into it one of these days. Hello? Gameplay? Do I have to, like, turn it off and then on again? Huh. That's a little strange. Alright, we'll move this guy down to... should be on one of the main roads, maybe... here. And hopefully that'll do the trick. Okay, so what I just realized is I don't really even need this bridge, because we're not connecting those two sides together. So that was a lot of work for nothing, but whatever. And we'll upgrade this back to a regular 2-lane road on both sides. And that's this bad boy right here. We have the same problem over here, just a tiny little section like that. Excuse me. You know what? There's another issue. The tram depot is not connected to this area, so I'm going to have to put down a second tram depot to make all of this work. And I guess we'll put it down here, maybe not like a million miles away from the city. And since we have a tram line right there, we should have no trouble connecting that. We'll just do the standard upgrade to a 2-lane road with a tram line here and here. Okay, all right. That was pretty straightforward. We have our subway station here, and that's kind of where we're going to start all of this, I think. So let's put down the first line here. Then we'll go down to the middle of this area, and then we'll stop behind the high school. Stop at the high density residential here. The office is here. And a final stop in front of the monument there. Okay, good. Now we're going to run the exact same line in the other direction. I don't know whether it makes a lot of difference if you have just a single one-way line on a loop. It does mean that people might end up having to spend a lot of time getting somewhere. You know, if you're going clockwise and the station you're going to was the previous station counterclockwise, you're just going to be unhappy. So I have power generation here that's not hooked up to anything. Is that what's happening? Let's go ahead and hook that up and hook this up. Okay, now I'm generating almost twice as much power as I need. So somewhere along the line I made too many power plants. There come the trams. What happened here? Did I... Oh, that's the tram stations. There's nothing strange going on there. That's just where the stops are. And I guess the green means stop for pedestrians or something. The only problem with these tram lines is that these trams can get stuck in traffic. My other trams, okay, those are working fine. So let's do the other side. Same thing again, and we'll start the stations same place. Here to here to right about here, I guess. This area isn't that interesting. And then one here, one here. Put this one here. We'll finish that line. And then we'll build another line in the opposite direction on this side. Make sure we don't miss any of the stops. Okay, we got 4 new tram lines to show for it, and hopefully that will make everybody here more eager to use the public transit. Let's take a look though. Suddenly we have 5 tram lines. Okay, we need to change some of these colors. That's obviously not going to fly. This one can be cyan. And this one can be, I don't know, yellow. Yellow. Okay, that'll make them a lot easier to tell apart. There's a lot of people using them already, that's good. But the passenger count hasn't really updated yet. This is our line on the other side, which, which has a lot of people waiting here. Now, where exactly is here? That's the end stop. Well, that's not the end stop. Oh, that's the shopping mall. Okay, this is our big shopping mall. And there's a lot of people here. But it's not completely out of control, I think, yet. And these other lines, you know, it's kind of hard to tell, but this all seems pretty reasonable. We probably don't need nearly as many vehicles here. Let's take all of these down to maybe 3 for now. Because I don't... They calculate the number of cars based on the number of stops. But not so much based on how busy they are, and because we have them in both directions, we don't need as many trains as we would otherwise. Okay, good. That's excellent. Now, what else have we got going on here? We've got some abandoned commercial area. That's just because they were having trouble getting employees. That's not a big deal. We have... Oh, whatever was the problem there, it just changed and now it's not a problem anymore. So that's good. We have our little Omnom Valley here. It's not much yet, but we're going to keep expanding that as we go. Not enough. Okay, we need more crops, basically, is what this thing is saying. So let's add some more crops. Before we do anything, we can, I think, not upgrading, we're just drawing lines. This is going to wreck both of those. So let's expand outwards as little as is humanly possible. And then we'll run. Standard 2-lane road with a painted median. Why are you being like this? Stop being like this. Why can't you be more like your brother? Okay, let's see here. Run that out a little bit farther, just so that we have something to latch onto at a right angle. And then we can do that. Bulldoze this section. Extend this section. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Right. Right. You're bloody well right. You got a bloody right to say. And now, let's see, space-wise I'm fine, right? Yeah, I'm like right in the middle of this big old area. So we'll go ahead and extend these outwards. I'll just do one side for now. I don't think we need to do both. Back to the industries. And medium tree plant. No, it's not. It's farms, people, not whatever. Small crop field. I haven't unlocked any larger crop fields yet, have I? I have not. So we'll just do... just for a little bit of variety, I think we'll change it up a little bit. We'll have that. There's no variety whatsoever. It looks exactly the same. Alright, well, so noted. They need water. Fine. You want water? You can have water. But let's not keep running 2 lines out here when we only need 1. And you do not have enough crops to turn into animal meat. That will resolve soon enough because we're going like completely overboard with the crops right now. Still only have 19 of 50 workers in the main building here. Let's see what's going on. So we're making a lot of animal products, not many flowers, and we're outputting a lot of crops directly. So let's... oh, I just went into the red too. That's never good. Put down a flour mill. If I can find the flour mill. Is this the flour mill? That's the flour mill. And where shall we put it? I feel like the flour mill should be on a main road here. So we'll put the flour mill right on the edge of the region. And now they're complaining about crime. Well, I just moved a police station closer to you guys. You're not getting your own private cop force. You're just going to have to, I don't know, vigilante justice it or something. Y'all a bunch of grown-ups. You can work it out, right? Flatten terrain, flatten terrain. Doesn't seem to want to flatten out properly. There we go. And let's just kind of spread it out here a little bit. That'll do. Why is everybody complaining about not having enough crops? Look at all of these crops that I have here. What more do you want? Am I supposed to be putting down warehouses or something? Unique factories. A bakery. I don't think we're ready to build a bakery yet, or a steel plant. But there was something about warehouses. Small warehouse, medium warehouse, large warehouse, and a warehouse yard. I'm not entirely clear on how this works. All I know, that's 64 and 4,000. Okay, so these scale, right? We'll put down a warehouse along this road. No resources selected. Stored resource. Animal products. I'm not sure if this is useful. I don't know if it's going to help at all. I'm also not sure we should be storing our steaks like outside on a parking lot. Also, that's a terrible location for it. Let's move it to the other side, because that is really messing with the sight lines, so to speak. Okay, let's level this out. Larger brush. Slightly stronger brush strength. That's so much better. Look at that. I can do it all in one fell swoop. And there as well. As a matter of fact, we can just kind of line all of this up nicely, and yeah, that works. So there's actually animal products being stored here. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe it's for moving stuff around. Remind me to look into this, though, because I'm clearly not doing this right. If I am doing it right, well, I'd be a little surprised, let's be honest. Because when do I ever do it right? Alright, a couple more crop fields. These fruit fields, apples, oranges, pears, blah, blah, blah. Crops. It's still just crops, so whatever. That looks nice. And we'll just let it do its thing for a while and see how it goes. We're kind of coming up on the hillside here. And let's smooth this out a little bit too. Look how easy that is once you get the brush size right. Same thing over here. We'll kind of flatten this out. And then we'll move this out a little bit. So we got kind of a couple of conflicting height requirements here. Let's... Do we need to lower this? Cattle shed is turning food into meat. That's good. This is just not a good location. Let's move it down the road a little bit. Oh, that's so much worse. That is so much worse. Maybe we should put it on the main road instead. Here. Okay. Alright, that looks a little less crazy. I don't understand why these guys are still complaining that they're not getting enough crops. I have crops everywhere. I mean, I have probably more crops than I need. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll do what needs to be done as and when it needs to be done. So the idea here is that we're going to create some new residential area around here, and I think what we'll start off with is we have this hill here. I kind of want to do something with the hill. So maybe we'll run a road up there, and maybe we'll run a nicer road up there. Maybe this will be a nice neighborhood for a change. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Not quite here. We want to go around the farm area. So actually, I think I might just hook up to this. No, stately no want tunnels. Cut it out with the tunnels already. I want to go up the hill. Okay. So we're going to have to raise this a little bit, I guess. Or it's going to want to tunnel. And we don't want it to tunnel. We want nice, beautiful roads. I don't really care about that rock, it turns out. Heading up to let's say there. And then we'll have kind of a town on the hill here. So maybe we'll loop this road kind of around that little section there and over to here. That's nice. We're going to have to put down some amenities and stuff here for these people because this is kind of far out, and I can imagine it being challenging to actually get this to fill in, but we'll see how that goes. Let's not despair about problems we don't have yet. That's not really the road I wanted. I kind of just wanted this. And we'll do another one, say here. Let me get my snapping turned back on so that I can get these lengths just so. Really? I don't want to be underground. Okay, alright. Everything's under control. I'm not nearly as incompetent as I seem. Or aren't I? That'll do for starters. Now we connect these roads together with nice gradual curves. We'll do single curved segments here. It should be easy enough. Like that, and a couple of little alleys, I think, in the middle of these sections. Those just need to be straight lines. Maybe not. Maybe the alleys are just going to cause traffic issues. Maybe we'll leave those be. All right, let's get some water up here. And since we're probably going to end up putting commercial or whatever we end up putting along this road, we'll just have the water line follow the road up, even though that's not necessarily the very shortest way of doing this. Like that. Okay, so we got kind of a potential main street here. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of zoning along here. The usual method. We'll keep it kind of small here because this is a little rural, I suppose. And doesn't all have to be 100% consistent. We can have some bigger and some smaller stuff around. Whoa. Traffic flow, 86%. That's not bad, actually. I'm not sure why that's up there, but it's not bad. Let's put some commerce down here. And we'll keep it shallow-ish, so there's at least a little bit of spacing between the commerce and the residential areas. These people are going to want electricity. I realize that. Fortunately, we have a lot of it. So we will go ahead and run. Hey, check it out. Omnom Valley has reached level 3. I can make a lemonade factory, a milking parlor, and medium fields. Good. We will check in on that soon, but let's get back to work here because we need to give these guys electricity before they start getting mad. And I could do this in a straight line, but just for the sake of quote-unquote realism, I'm following the road here. I think this should work out just fine. We just need to put a few more residentials on this side. And I think we can have maybe bigger ones back here. Not everywhere, but we could do like that. Leave a little space around the road there. And we'll fill this in here. Like so. Okay, let's give these people something to recreate about. We'll give them a little Chinese tea garden because I haven't really used any of those in the game yet. That's nice. I'm thinking this will be a pleasant place to live. Hopefully it won't be too isolated. For now, it's likely to be too isolated, let's be honest. But it doesn't have to stay that way. And I think what we'll do is we'll run a little slip road down into the industrial area. We'll run it so that only, what if we do... What if we do one of the dedicated footpaths? Or the combo path. We'll use the combo path. I like my combo path. This guy right here. Because we were going to have people working down here and having to go around all the way when they can just hop on their bike. That's a little silly. So we'll run this from... If I do it here, I'm going to regret it, but I can always move it later. Do it from there, and then we'll switch over to freeform, and we'll run it up the hill like that. Interesting little bike path. I wonder if people are going to use it. They're still complaining about crime here. Alright, we haven't looked at traffic in a little while, so while we let that develop, let's take a look at our traffic situation and see if we have any choke points that we need to look at. This has always been a busy intersection, but there's no real problem with traffic flow, so that's fine. This is getting busier, and a large part of that is because we have a lot of small connecting roads here. I think what we can do with these roads is maybe make them no left turn. We'll leave this one an all-way intersection. We'll leave this one an all-way intersection, but we'll take these ones in the middle and we will ban left turns on them. The best way to do that is with this. So let's see, that means you have to go here, and you have to go here, and you have to go here, and you have to go here. And that's the short and the long of it. We can just do the same thing over here. We can just do the same thing over here, he said, failing to do the same thing over here. Good. And this one, I think it's time we added a stoplight here. Because that's only going to get heavier, especially now that I'm redirecting. Are these guys just spewing out of the back of a mountain here? I did not approve of this. Where are they going? They're going all over the place. Let's take a quick look. Not you. I'm not trying to click on you. I'm trying to click on the subway station. Well, yeah, they're walking from all over town. And that's fine. That's kind of why there's a subway station there. Okay, so this one is no left turn. This one also needs to be no left turn. I'm wondering if I'm going to regret this. I'm wondering if I'm going to end up creating a choke point somewhere else. But if we do, we'll find out, right? And for the record, we do not want a stoplight here. Just make sure I don't have stoplights anywhere I don't want them. And here we already have a stoplight, and all is well in the world. So hopefully that will keep traffic here flowing along nicely. The fact that parking is allowed here is maybe a little odd. And the location of the subway station, frankly, also a little strange. I'm not entirely sure we're going to keep it there. We might end up moving it. Let's go ahead and put down a couple trees here. Just kind of... Not really getting a lot of trees out of this, are we? Just kind of fill out these somewhat desolate looking areas. That'll do just fine. We still have some undeveloped terrain here as well. Okay, so everybody happy here? Yes. Let's finish our quick traffic inspection. No issues at Shady Pines or Mudslide. This intersection here also has always been kind of red, but it's not remotely problematic. And then this is new. But just looking at it, I don't see why this would be any kind of issue. The only thing I can think of is that the trams are causing trouble. But you know, it's all flowing along just fine. So let's check in on our tram lines. And all of these seem to be working nicely. Even with just 3 trains, these are keeping up just fine. I'm going to take a quick look at all of them, make sure we don't have any hot spots, choke points, disasters. We do. We have that still. This is fine and dandy. This is fine and dandy. If anything, we have too many trams running here, but they're seeing good use and everything seems to be fine. Okay, what do we got going on here? Now there are no buyers for... Man, this is kind of a balancing act. I build one thing and everybody's like, oh no, and I build another thing and everybody's like, we don't have enough anymore, and it just keeps going. But we are producing plenty of animal products, and it seems like not enough flour. It looks like most of the crops end up in the cattle shed rather than the flour mill. That's okay. All right, these guys are obviously having trouble finding employees because there's not nearly enough residential here to make all of this work yet. So let's go ahead and do something about that. We will set up a bit of a grid over here and we'll put in some more residential zones. We use the same standard roads I've been using because they provide parking. And there we go. Let's see, do we want any high density residential here yet? Maybe we'll have like 2 small high density towers here and we'll kind of flank it with regular residential. I'm always hesitant to put anything too close to the roads because I inevitably end up extending the roads and extending the roads. Yes, I extend the roads. And when I do that, they get sad because their house gets destroyed. And I'm like, oh, did I do that? And they're like, yeah, and you know you did. And I'll be like, I had no idea. And they'll be like, screw you. And then I feel bad, and, you know, so it's best to just avoid it altogether. And let's put down a little... Just a straight line here should be fine. There, like that. And hopefully that'll help with the shortage of residential space. You know what? We don't need these to be quite so tiny. We can make bigger high-density housing here. Like that. It's hard to get to. There's no public transport up here. There's no real facilities yet. So it makes sense that they don't have enough employees yet. But if that lasts too long, they all become abandoned and everybody's sad. And it's just not good. So we're going to work the problem, as Deke Slayton would say. Really? Yeah, I think what we need to do here is lower this a little bit. Kind of like the idea of a city on a hillside, but it is going to pose a few challenges. There can be very little doubt about that. One of them being very steep roads. And we'll go ahead and... Me no likey. Let's move it out a little bit. We should be able to just grab all of these and go like this. I love this move it tool, man. It's a thing of beauty. Alright, we got no water for these guys. You want water? Here's your water. And then we'll put some more low-density residential down here. This is going to be interesting. I can take out some of these power lines now, because this is all connected, and they have the unfortunate habit of messing with terrain. So we'll just make them go away. A little more density down here. Interesting to see how this is going to fill out. Still got a lot of employment issues, but it's starting to fill up now, so hopefully it'll be okay. We're going to want to give people a reason to come here too at some point. We should try to make this area attractive. Let's see. Good, that looks nice. We'll do another little alley right down the middle of this one, like so, and then we'll just keep zoning. Let's just let these fill in. Because we really do need the we need the residents up here, although I'm just looking at my overall demand and it's not currently very high at all. Oh jeez, so the cops are not coming. And this area doesn't have water. This area also doesn't have water. So yeah, it's kind of sloppy so far. We're definitely having some trouble getting this place to fill in. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully eventually the police will decide they can be arsed to come on up. These guys have easy access to the freeway. This line might end up being kind of busy. I'm not horrendously concerned We got a corpse here that hasn't been picked up, but we got plenty of facilities. We got crematoriums coming out the wazoo, right? Yeah, we just built one over here. That looks kind of nice, too. Okay, so we can maybe spend a few more minutes filling a few things in here. We still have a fair amount of commercial demand. So I'm thinking we'll fill this area in. We'll put down an alley down the middle. I just kind of like alleys for some of these commercial areas because they kind of give you the impression of shadiness. That said, this alley here doesn't have anything hooked up to it. There's not going to be anything facing the alley. That's okay. And we'll just fill it up, see how it fills in, get rid of the little things. You always get like the tiny 1x1 buildings in certain places that you kind of don't want. All right, let's check in on the YOLO grounds. The YOLO grounds are actually making a profit in spite of the very low ticket price. And that was the wrong button. Animal ethics. Can I get some more details here? I guess there are no more details. I need to increase the entertainment value further for this to upgrade, and that's not going to happen because I just don't have enough space. So, it is what it is. Zubumafu is close to maxing out. I wonder if we get those lions and tigers and bears when we max out. I was promised lions and tigers and bears. Okay, what do we not have here? Can we add anything to Zubumafu to help it level? And what's not unlocked yet? Okay, so there's a few things that are not unlocked. We have lions and rhinos. We put down the monkey palace. We've got the giraffe enclosure. We have the elephants over to the left there. And I think that means that the only thing that we don't have yet is the flamingo enclosure. And I'm a little dubious about whether we can put it anywhere. So this uses a road completely surrounding the enclosure. That means that here would probably be a good place for it. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and grab one of those pretty zoo paths and we'll run it out just far enough to hook the enclosure up to, and then we'll go ahead and grab that flamingo enclosure and run it right there. Okay, that's odd, but whatever. I mean, the path disappeared. But it doesn't matter too much. We'll just put it back again. And one there. One there. That's a bridge, inexplicably. Flamingos like water. I have heard about this in my zookeeping for dummies manual. And then we'll mark these together so we have kind of a central area there. And that central area will be good for some picnic tables. And kind of frame that tree. I'm not sure why we're framing the tree, but I kind of like the idea. A little bit more signage in the corners here so that people can see where they need to go to see their favorite animal. And it's kind of maxed out now, and I like the way it looks. I'm fairly pleased with the visual appeal of this place. It still seems like we are getting a lot of people going there. I'm just kind of unclear where they're coming from. Looks like a lot of them are walking. We got a lot of people walking here. That's good. That is quite good. Do I need streetlights? No. A few more zoo signs, maybe. Just so people don't forget they're in a zoo. Maybe not right by the existing... Wow. Noisy little bastards, aren't they? Can you smell it? I can almost smell it. I can almost smell the zoo. And that is... That's about it, isn't it? We got restrooms. We already put those in. We've already got a souvenir shop. Shall we have another souvenir shop? Maybe like at the end of this road here? I'm pretty sure we're not going to expand any farther out that way. So there we go. I think we have a really nice zoo. And ta-da! We reached level 5. Now we can do the rhino and the lion enclosure, and that will be it. I think we can probably fit something in here. It's going to have to wait, though, because we are out of time. So why don't we spend just a minute watching this guy walk around the zoo? And then I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to subscribe. We'll see you all next time. Peace.